So I'm sitting here talking today with Chad Johnson, Cooper's Heating and Air, and Chad's got an interesting account that I want to share with folks from a market lead call that he made on a customer. And so Chad, let me just kind of jump in with this, and I guess my first question is, tell us a little bit about the history behind this, and how did this lead develop for you?
This was a marketed lead that came into our office via phone, and I visited the homeowner and learned that she had a previous contractor out already, so I was the second person in, and that her unit was not keeping up. She had two systems in the home, an upstairs system and downstairs. An upstairs unit was not keeping up. She was contemplating replacing it. It had a little bit of age on it, and so I just came in, and that's how it started through the evaluation.
Okay, so if you were like the second one in line, were you able to find out how much the estimate was from that first guy who she'd been using in the past?
Yes, through our conversation, I learned that she had a previous contractor was about $4,500. He had quoted her the night before. They had used him in the past, so she was familiar with his work, but she just wanted a second opinion. Didn't mention getting any more than just the two. So I went ahead, and I didn't let that influence the fact that I knew that was a low-priced installer from the other contractor standpoint, and went ahead and did my normal thorough routine inspection. And then following up with the homeowner at various times during the inspection, I mentioned that our systems are priced a little differently as an overall cost of ownership. So other than the initial install price, they would not have any more money to have to invest in this unit over the next 10-year period. And then we had units available that had lifetime compressor warranties. I found out that the previous contractor did not discuss anything related to that with the homeowner. He simply came in and had presented her the lowest Sears system with the lowest base warranty at the lowest price that he could install it for. So I mentioned to her, well, obviously you know how to do it cheap from your previous quote. So let's look at this from a different standpoint. We designed systems specifically for you with lowest overall cost of ownership, lowest energy savings, maximum warranty. And if we can get you in at a payment that's in your price range that you'd be comfortable with, let's see what you might want to do moving forward. So that's how the conversation went.
So when you did your due diligence and the inspection part of it, did you discover anything unusual or out of the ordinary that you normally would uncover on inspection?
I did. I noticed that the home was suffering from undersized returns as normal in older R22 systems. So those need to be enlarged. She had older thermostats, and she really contemplated that she wanted to upgrade to Wi-Fi thermostats and things of that nature for better convenience for her and her family. And during that time frame, her second unit stopped performing while I was there. So I was able to actually very quickly call our office and have a service technician come out to review her second system. And that led to basically another conversation with a two-system change-out price that she decided to look at.
So what was that? What was that estimate when you packaged all that up compared to the $4,500 price that the other guy had slung at her? What was your total estimate for replacing both of those units?
Well, when I came back and offered her, the 17 SEER 2-stage, a high efficiency unit with maximum warranties, 10-year parts, 10 years labor, 10 years compressor, lifetime compressor, 10 years labor, and all the other additives that she wanted in with it, I was at $17,500 for both systems.
Chad, that's nearly 4 times what the other one was. Did you get laughed off campus?
Believe it or not, no. She really looked at it with a serious train of thought. We talked about her energy savings that she could, expect on the new systems and with the warranty, and she decided that, she really liked the idea of installing a higher end unit with less worry and less headache over its lifespan with the energy savings coupled with it, that she preferred that versus the low ball price install.
So she ended up spending that amount of money and going with you instead of the low ball local guy, right?
Yes, she did.
Fantastic. That's an incredible story. Most sales guys would say, "I can't compete with that." That's just great that you didn't, that you didn't fold like a cheap suit. When you went in there and discovered that, you did your due diligence and you laid everything out just like you would, in any other normal situation. What a great story that is. Now, once you got her squared away there, were you able to sell by multiplication? Were you able to get any referrals, testimonials? Or you get any good news out of her?
I got great news out of her. I've got actually I do have a testimonial from her, and she is from customers if they have any questions about using Cooper's Heating and Air. She's more than welcome to take those and speak to customers. And as well, when I discussed with her about referrals at the time and try to get her in the right mindset for that, she did not have anything immediately. But then about 3 days later, she called me back and let me know that she had closed on a house for her mother in the same town, and asked me to go by and would I please do a complimentary inspection on that unit. She knew it had some age on it, and it was an older R22 system. She was hoping she could get some more lifespan out of it. I did the same review on the inspection with her mother there, and I noted several issues with that unit. Basically a laundry list of problems that it had. I went back to her with that, and she said, so basically you're recommending that I replace this unit as well. And I stipulated, yes, ma'am. Went back into the cost of ownership briefly with her, and we negotiated on a price for $6,500 for that particular system. She didn't go with the ultra efficiency. She went with a mid-grade with a 15 SEER, which was fine for that application. So she wound up buying that system and installed it the following week.
So sounds like to me, when you roll all that together, that's $25,000 worth of business from that one family, because you didn't throw in the towel, even though the odds looked pretty great when you first showed up there. You just did what you've been taught to do over the last couple of years, and everything worked out. And she saw the quality of what you did and how you laid things out to her.
Exactly. I think that whole don't lose, go off the beaten path when you're in talking to the homeowner. Just because they say that they have a low ball, a quote or something that you're not used to seeing, or pricing is different from your particular company or organization, don't let that influence you. Just follow the course set for you, do your due diligence, talk to the customer about lowest overall cost of ownership, show them something different. Just because somebody come out and offered a low price doesn't mean that customer is going to go in that direction. This is an example. She went completely opposite and went with high-end everything instead of going with that low-ball price. So you never know what's in that customer's mind, what their train of thought is. So I always present the best option for them, and then go from there, where the trail may lead me.
Fantastic story. Chad, thanks so much for sharing that experience there. That's priceless. So great work.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.